All right, welcome back to the Reptiles With Podcast. This is something you don't get to see all the time. It's just us two at a reptile
Finally,
show.
bro.
Yeah, dude.
I've been meaning to tell you how much I love you, man.
Oh my God,
And
this
you're
is the
beautiful.
episode. Oh God, don't even start with that. Listen, so I think that there's something that people do not understand.
What?
I think that people don't understand that you're a human being. Yeah, and today, as much as this is an episode for the new people, this is an episode for the people that have been here to get to know you a little bit better, Chuck.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
Okay.
I want to try to make you feel some kind of emotions. We're going to talk a little bit about the show. But first, Chuck, what is your mission?
Whoa.
Yeah. What is the real thing? What is the goal?
Mission on what?
With what it is that you're trying to do within this industry, because I think that just because of the comedic content of the podcast, people just think that you're just anti whatever it is that we're doing, and they don't really truly understand what it is that you're about.
I would want to get to a point where I can inspire people to turn things around instead of being like a group of people that is all about having animals in captivity. It's a group of people that have animals in captivity, but that also help animals in the wild. So I want to be able to bring people back to what it is loving an animal, or loving animals in general. It's like habitat destruction, absolutely. Poaching, absolutely. And learning about the animals that live around you. Like a lot of people that love reptiles don't even know the reptiles that live around them.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I just want to maybe inspire people to actually love more than just what you can put in a box.
Yeah. And I think that you guys, and I know I've said it before, but you guys played a very big part of that for me when I got the Brettles pythons. You know, because I knew that I wanted to keep a species outside in Central Florida that can live outside. And you specifically showed me an app that showed me that I could look up how these animals are living. So I just spent so many hours on that. I had a bunch of conversations with you guys, and I was able to confidently do what I needed to do to be able to reproduce them outside. And that had to do a lot with you guys.
Yeah, I think that's exactly what I try to push. It's like there's so much more than just making a box and putting an animal in it. Yeah. It's like learning where it's from, learning what the animal needs. Learning the animals that are around you might help you learn more about a whole different animal.
Yeah.
So like, for example, like people think of ball pythons, they live on the ground, they live on termite mounds, and that's all they know of them. Yeah. As if they are the only fossorial species there is, but they're not unique.
Yeah.
That lifestyle is not unique, and they don't only live in those places. That's why I don't like the racks.
Yeah.
Is because the thought of a rack and the thought of an animal living underground is the thought of that animal not moving and staying there. Yes, it's in a confined space, but it is for a limited amount of time.
Yeah.
Then after that, it uses a lot of land space to get across and find different things. Fossorial species are all around. In Florida, we have the short-tailed king snake, which is fossorial, is barely ever found. It's always on the ground, but the times that herpers actually end up finding them is not on the ground. It's driving a car back and forth on the road.
Yeah.
You know, so it's like learning those things and what those animals are is something that I wish people wanted to know more of.
Yeah. So being that, like, I know we always talk about, like, anti-rack and whatever, but would you feel better if it was temporary? Like, if the rack usage was only breeding purposes. They have them in, like,
then
let's say...
Then that is not temporary for the... okay, so the thing with temporary or only breeding purposes, it doesn't change the experience of the animal.
Okay, but let's say it was, I keep my ball python in a 4x2x18 enclosure, adult female, let's say. She's in there the majority of her life. The only time that I put her in the enclosure is once a week. The only time that I put her in a rack is once a week to be able to breed with the male that I'm going to breed her to.
That is way different,
And then I put her back, and then it's just, that like 3 to 4 weeks, that we're trying to monitor follicular growth for a ball python, she's in the rack.
Yeah.
But she's laying eggs more than likely outside of the rack. Do you think that would be like in your head you would not justify the rack usage, but you'd be like, okay,
that's a lot better, and it's not just racks in general, you know, because there are very small species that you could just put in a tub and it'll be completely fine, you know.
Yeah.
But that's like a larger species of an animal that we're talking about.
Yeah.
And people try to say like, oh, they don't survive in larger enclosures, they don't do good in larger enclosures, and that's because you're not making the larger enclosure what the animal needs.
Correct.
You have to make the burrow inside the larger enclosure while at the same time giving it enough space to do other things.
And yeah, exactly. And in essence, you're giving it the need to use its head, to use all of the things that it will naturally do to be able to reproduce.
And at the same time, feel safe. You can't just put dirt and put an animal there and expect it to survive. No.
And like the double-edged sword with that, and I know you know it, but it doesn't justify it for you, is that people are like, well, we have to monitor the cost and we have to produce so many because the demand is this and whatever.
Yeah, and for me, because I am not a breeder, I don't expect money coming from the things I do with animals. For me, that's just like the easiest way to make some money on the backs of the animals you have. And you can say you love the animal all you want.
Yeah.
But all you care about at that point is the money, not the experiences of the animal.
Correct. And yeah, I get what you're saying. Which is why, like, I think these thoughts that you've had, even though you are a part of the greater reptile industry, is what keeps you like standing out. Yeah. You know, and what would you say are good things that people should do to try to stand out within this industry? Because there is, and I don't really mean this in like the worst way, but there is a lot of copy and paste.
Yes. Yeah. So you have to be your own person.
Yeah.
Be your own person. Do your own research, not by word of mouth. Learn new things, try new things.
Yeah.
That's just it. That's all I do every single day. Like, people don't know much on the podcast, but I take care of crocodilians, I take care of monitor lizards, I take care of sailfin dragons, rhino iguanas, all sorts of species. And what I do with every single species is the same thing. I look at how they live in the wild. I try to mimic those things. And when I do, I get tons of success. I have a black throat monitor that we keep outside, and we don't have to bring him indoors anymore. Why? Because we allowed him to build his own burrow, and we have a heating source multiple feet above ground, heating the sand at the top, and down there it stays 75 to 80 when outside is 38 degrees.
Yeah.
You know, like, because I didn't go by what everybody else does, and I went with what the animal needs and what the animal behavior is like, I matched it and I figured out a way to pull that off.
I like what you said there because I think that a lot of us try to find animals, and I am definitely guilty of this, find animals that fit our needs.
Yep.
You know, like, I have this lifestyle, so I need something that the care and the maintenance will work on the way that I do it in the easiest way possible, right?
Yep.
But what you're saying is like, okay, fuck your needs. It's about what are the animals' needs.
Yeah.
You know? That's fucking...
And that's how I am with everything. The crocodile monitor, I mean, the black throat, before it was in a very small enclosure.
Yeah.
It had no substrate. It was just wood.
Yeah.
I changed, like me and my coworkers changed all that.
Yeah.
Now it has clay mixed with sand that makes it easy to dig, but also stays still
firm
whenever
if it needs to be
exactly.
A burrow. Yeah.
Then we have a crocodile monitor. We gave him branches, trees. We have a branch that's like at my chest level.
Yeah.
One, because I want him to be able to feel safe, especially standing above me. It makes him feel better. He has a water source. He has a heating area, a place to hide from guests if he doesn't want people looking at him. We also give them that because if you give them that, they stop using it.
Yeah.
They literally get used to, okay, if I don't want to be seen, I can just hide.
Yeah.
And a lot of times he's just running around in there. It's just, I don't know. I feel like I am way happier doing those things than I would be keeping something the way everybody else does.
Yeah.
In a very minimalistic way.
Got you. So most people are going to know you obviously from Instagram.
Yeah.
Specifically from an extremely viral video of you catching an iguana in Mexico.
Yep.
Yeah. That or you fondling some kind of crocodilian some way somehow. And you have, and I say that to say that you have very great success in social media.
Yeah.
A lot of the conversations that we have that has to do with social media, it's just you've always been somebody that I look for when I need to get like reinvigorated or I need to like come at something from a different point of view. What is like the best advice that you'd say to somebody within this industry that, you know, what can you tell them so that way they can better grow their social accounts?
It's same thing. Stand out. Also, I don't. So, it's very easy to go viral.
Okay.
It's extremely easy.
Yeah.
I can just do it. But a lot of the things to do that, I don't agree with, so I don't.
Yeah.
The iguana video, it's the same video every time.
Yeah.
I've posted once a year. I know you probably noticed.
Yeah.
Once a year, and it does the same thing every time.
Yeah.
I don't catch animals like that because then that's all people expect from me.
Yeah.
I don't do the same thing over and over again. I try to change it up, different animals. I try and show the different things that I am capable of. I already know what can go viral. I also know what doesn't go viral.
Yeah.
I still post it because I like it.
Okay.
Right? I like it, and sometimes it does go viral, and that's okay too. I think a lot of people focus on going viral on social media to the point that they go viral. Algorithm changes, they can't go viral anymore, and then they die off, and then they don't know what to do.
Yeah.
And they already collected a whole bunch of money from social media, and now they're declining and everything else, and they're losing things. I know people that have huge social medias because they were chasing how to go viral. Algorithm changed. Now they have to get rid of cars. They have to get rid of homes. They have to get rid of animals.
Yeah.
And now they're begging for money online.
Yeah. So I wasn't in I wouldn't say that I was going viral, but the last couple years I was posting very often. I was getting a lot of views and a lot of stuff. And then as the algorithm changed, now a lot of that stuff for me personally has tanked. And it's definitely killed like my flow and a little bit of the creativity.
Yeah.
But I think that's why people say like do the thing that you like.
Yeah.
Okay, because personally, I don't think the result should be the thing that you like.
No.
It's the process is what you need to fall in love with.
I've been doing this. Okay, so social media in general. I've been on it since I was a little jet.
Yeah.
Like 12 years old.
Yeah.
Little jet. You can find videos of me as a little jet speaking Spanish about a leopard gecko, bro.
Yeah.
Like little jet.
I've seen it. It's hilarious.
A little jet. I took it a little more serious in 2017. That's when I met like Brian Barczyk, Miguel, and all those people, and I got more inspired by those people. Yeah. So I think I took enough hits to where they don't hurt anymore.
Got you.
Like the algorithm has changed. I used to get way more engagement back then than I do now.
Yeah.
That thing got killed, and I was like, whatever, let's keep it moving.
Yeah.
Like I don't care about numbers. I just keep it moving. I will hit something. If I post 100 things, one has to hit. That's how I think. Oh, this flopped. Okay, next thing.
Yeah.
Boom, this flopped. Okay, next thing.
Yeah.
Something will always hit. It doesn't matter what it is. I don't care about views. I don't care about the likes. I don't care about the comments. I don't care about the follows. I don't care about what people are saying. If anything, like something from this podcast, you know, most people hate me on this podcast.
Yeah.
Something crazy about it is that on social media, I look for that.
Yeah.
I thrive on it.
Yeah.
I have a great time with it. It's like, oh, you don't agree with me. Fine, let's get at it. Like, in on Instagram, it's different than here because this is Reptile people. There's a little more of a smart conversation that I can have with people. On Instagram, a lot of times it's normal.
It's
right?
random.
Normies, right?
Yeah.
And things like, that's not a crocodile, that's an alligator. That's what I'm arguing with.
Yeah.
You know, and then I literally, or like, that crocodile skin looks like it would make nice boots or a purse.
Yeah.
You know, and I literally pinned those comments. I'm like, yes, please. Let's argue. Let's get at it. That gives me more engagement, more views, and I have fun with it. Yeah. And I get people calling me names, making fun of me, whatever it is. At the same time, everybody's watching. And I just go with it. I'm used to it.
You posted some stories the other day. Where you were like, is it a crocodile or an alligator? I made sure I got all of them wrong on purpose.
Oh, you know how many of my friends do that, bro?
Yeah.
I literally go on it and I'm like, yup, this is all my friends.
Yeah. I was like, fuck this guy, dude.
If you answer right, you're not my friend, bro. Dead ass. You're like an acquaintance if I die.
Yeah. So, obviously, because of your beliefs and the way that you go about certain things, it puts you in a position where I would say there's a crowd of people within the greater industry that don't always get along with you, that, you know, befriend you for a little bit, but then don't, you know, unfriend you at that point. Do you ever feel alienated?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think so. I think sometimes I feel like I'm pushed to the side in a lot of it. I feel like almost like an outcast, you know? But
Yeah.
at the same time, the reason I do this is barely for the people here. Like, the people here already have their mindset. They have their old ways of doing things, their old ways of thinking. Like,
or ways in which they're stuck.
yeah, exactly. Like, I don't think I'm stuck. I
Yeah.
have my own friends. I have friends within the industry. I have friends that are not even on social media you'll never know about, but they're the best at what they do.
Yeah.
And the people you watch on social media look up to those people.
Yeah.
I'm like with the people behind the scenes, and I'm okay with it.
Yeah.
I'm okay with it. And on top of that, like, I have a huge group of friends that is not even within reptiles. Like, I've done it all. Like, I have social media friends. I have photography friends. I have childhood friends. I have, like, I'm okay being just me. Sometimes I think about it, like, it's almost better.
Yeah.
It's almost better than being in a group of people that all do the same thing. And it's like hundreds of people.
Yeah.
And a lot of them are acting fake.
Yeah. I think that you have a very unique position because of that. Because I've experienced a specific thing very recently that I got to evaluate what a relationship was to me, for a few years, and got to see how certain people react to that group.
Yeah.
And I realized a lot of it was me fabricating it in my head, like everything was good, everything was whatever. And now I look at things a little bit different like that, like it's fake and stuff like that.
Yeah,
you know?
it's a lot of it is fake. A lot of it is what you call it, like a sale. It's an exchange.
Yeah, it's
an exchange.
that. I think that, not that it's not fake, but I think that is a better phrase. It's that it's an exchange.
Yeah.
Like, we have said relationship because we are benefiting each other. The second that things don't benefit, it's like, okay, it's not there anymore.
Yeah,
We're not eye to eye.
and that's why when those are the people that have something to say, I don't really care.
Yeah.
Because it's like, you don't pay my bills, you're not my friend, you're not somebody I care about. It doesn't matter.
Yeah. But then on the other hand, like, I do have some awesome fucking relationships with a lot of these people, and a lot of them in like the situation that I'm in have come up to me and have heard it from the grapevine and stuff like that, and they're like, oh shit, like you have nice stuff, you can do the thing, like whatever you need, or helping me, like, okay, you have a lot of free time right now, do this work for me, help me figure this out, like we'll do this together. But on the topic of like alienation, like, how I know you got a good head on your shoulder, bro.
Mm-hmm.
Does it ever make you pause and feel a type of way? Like, you're like, it disappoints you, but then you pick yourself back up?
Yep. Absolutely.
Are there any people in your life that help you go through that, where you're like, no, things are fine, I'm fine with the people that are around?
Yeah, there's people that try, but at those moments it's really hard to
express.
Yeah, not even to adjust, or to, like, somebody could be like, oh, everything's gonna be good, but it's hard to see it.
Yeah.
Like, sometimes it's hard to see it, and sometimes it gets to me. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Like, there's things that I try to do, and the doors are closed on me because of who I am and what I think, and things that have happened, and it's like, fuck.
Yeah.
God damn it. I could use this, but the doors are closed. But whenever that happens, two things happen. Like, one, I get angry.
Yeah.
Two, of course, I get sad. But then I use all of it to just push through it.
I think
10 times harder.
I think that the doors that are closed were never meant to be opened.
Mm-hmm.
You get me?
Yeah.
And if it was meant to be open, another door will open up,
and it always has. And it always has, bro. Like, I have been stopped from doing so many things, and every single time I come on top.
Yeah.
Like, every single time I've had people in this industry try to get rid of me, and wherever they go, they have to see my face.
Yeah.
Because I'm deep in it.
Yeah.
Like, it's not just social media, it's not just shows, like, I'm deep in it.
Yeah.
I know a lot of people, I have relationships with a lot of people, I love a lot of people that nobody knows except the people that know. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, I get you.
Like, there's people that have started a whole bunch of other people that on social media.
Yeah.
I know those people behind the scenes.
Yeah.
Like, I know a lot of the big people on social media, I don't post with them. I don't post about it because
Yeah.
I don't
I
I
mean,
don't like the exchange.
yeah, and I know
feeling.
that you've been in positions, and I've been around to see it happen to you, where like we might be around a specific quote unquote influencer, and they might not be directly affiliated by you, but it's always like, I know you.
Yeah.
I know you from this person, or I know you from that area. And
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah, I've been around.
Yeah.
I'm here and there. All right, next 5 years, where do you want to be?
Next 5 years, so I want to be doing my own thing, which still not being able to announce much, but
Yeah.
there are some things happening.
Yeah.
Next 5 years are going to be, next year is going to be life-changing. I think I'm going to bring a whole different new world to this industry.
Okay.
I'm going to be growing quite a lot. I think
I hope
going
I
to
can
be,
grow a little bit too.
Hey, yo. I'm going to be happier.
Okay.
That's something I want to be, of course. I want to be happier. I want to be fulfilled. I want to be, what everybody wants.
Yeah.
It's-
What do you think are the biggest challenges facing your goal?
My goal?
Yeah,
People?
People?
Yeah.
Yeah.
People. People that try to close the doors, of course.
Okay.
People that just don't like me.
Okay.
Usually are the ones that make it a little bit harder. But with the things that I have been able to do, like, nothing's stopping me, really, honestly.
Yeah.
I think what I'm about to put out into the world is going to be very different.
Okay.
Very different.
Yeah. Now, what's like a fear that you have coming into this goal?
Into this goal?
Yeah.
Failure.
All right.
Yeah. So very confident, but also
Yeah.
scared of failure.
I'm not trying to suck your dick right now, dude. I know you very well. You're not going to fail. I think
I
that...
hope not.
Yeah, I think that the stars will align. I think that maybe some things will be a little bit more delayed, but things get figured out.
Yeah,
Things get figured out.
they have. Like, sometimes I think about it, like, damn, everything's falling apart. I can't see the good. And then,
Yeah.
like, a week after, I started looking like, oh, shit, like, I've done a lot.
Yeah, but those things fall apart so that way you can show your resilience to be
Yeah.
able to pick them back
Yeah,
up.
and I feel like I have been my whole life very... it's something that's been happening a lot, very independent, very... I go through the struggle phase first. Like,
Yeah.
it is what it is, bro. Like,
Yeah.
it is what it is sometimes, and I push through it. I fight off. In those moments, I come first, bro.
Is there a specific failure that happened to you that like you think about? I have a couple. I'm gonna give you an example. The larger, quote unquote, larger band I was touring with, I got kicked out of that band. It wasn't like, oh guys, I'm out of this band and I got to leave with my best on me. But no, I got kicked out of that band for a couple reasons. One of them being that I was also a college student, and I was a college student. My professors, even though I was doing very good in college, they were telling me, they're like, you're going to get more experience on your degree on the road than here in school, so just go on the road. So I was starting to make that transition of going to college less and touring more. But also around that time, my grandpa was sick. And I didn't, I was the one taking him to a lot of his appointments, a lot of his surgeries. And I had his wife, my grandma, died during, like, around Thanksgiving time. And I was on a tour. I know that my grandpa had a big surgery coming up, and that tour was ending right before the holidays.
Mm-hmm.
The record label was like, hey, you have no choice but to go on this next tour right away. You're going to get home for a week, and you're going to be gone. And I'm like, okay, when are we getting back? They're like, after New Year's. So in my head, I'm like, I don't know if my grandpa's going to live. I don't want to miss his last Thanksgiving. I don't want to miss his last Christmas. I don't want to miss his last New Year's. You never know, And so being a kid, when my grandma passed, like, I was like, trauma there. I was like, I don't want to do it. So I told the band straight the fuck up. I was like, I am not doing that tour. You know, if you guys need to bring somebody on to cover for me, I would appreciate it. If we could not do the tour, I would also appreciate it. I didn't do the tour. Halfway through they went out to do the tour by themselves. Halfway through it, they were acting super weird with me. I got kicked out of the band. And at that point, that was a point of failure for me because I was like, yo, I've been playing music for 10 fucking years. I worked so hard to get to the point where I was living my dream, and then I just get cast aside. But that feeling of being cast aside always carries on with everything that I do now. So whenever something comes up where I'm like, I'm starting to not do well, like that feeling comes back.
Yeah.
Yeah, and even though like that was so many years now, it's just like it's back. Do you have anything like that weighs on you?
I wouldn't say like business wise, work wise.
No.
I wouldn't say, but emotionally, yeah.
Yeah.
So like, I grew up with my great grandparents. I grew up with like lots of violence, lots of
Yeah.
you know, people dying,
Yeah.
people getting deaded.
Deaded. Deaded is crazy.
So I think a regret I have is when I was a teenager and my great grandfather died a week after I moved to Florida.
Yeah.
A year later, I went back, I saw my great grandmother, and I was like a teenager, like, oh, like, don't be hugging on me and kissing on me. I'm a grown man. Type of deal.
Yeah.
I was like that to her.
Got you.
And that was a huge regret for me, bro.
I'm so sorry. I'm filming something real quick. I'm so sorry. We'll talk in a little bit. This is the perks of doing these things at a show.
The what?
These are the perks of doing these things at a show.
Oh, yeah.
Anyways, continue.
So I was like that, very,
Yeah.
I just wasn't as emotional with it. I should
Yeah.
have been. So because of that, I treat people very differently. I've had friends that have died, I've seen friends die.
Yeah.
And every time that has happened, the last things that were said were, I love you.
Yeah.
And that's because of that time, that regret.
That is why I always take advantage every once in a while, and I'll send you guys a message, and I'll tell you I love you guys. And I'm like, we never know how these things go. And
you don't. And I like the last words to be that.
Yeah, for sure. So I don't know if we should go any deeper. I have one more deep thing for you.
Go ahead.
What keeps you up at night, buddy?
What keeps me up at night?
Yeah.
ADHD.
Okay.
I'm not even lying, bro.
Yeah, I feel that.
Like, my brain is just running everything at the same time.
Yeah.
Like, my brain's telling me about my relationship with my mom, my relationship with people,
Yeah.
my romantic relationships, my goals, what I want to do tomorrow, what the next step is. All of those things are running at the same time.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. Listen,
God
man.
damn.
We'll get away from the deep stuff. We'll get into some reptile shit. I think you're a smart man. I think you are, like I told Lewis, Birds and Exotics, that he's a wealth of knowledge. I think you are very similar. Do you have any like books or movies that you think taught you specific things, or is there anything specific that, like a piece of content that you're like, that means a lot to me, that taught me something? Was there like a documentary or anything like that?
I mean, of course, Steve Irwin was a lot of it. My mom used to just play like little movies and shit like that all the time with the animals, and that was always the thing. I can think of, like, my mom had like this little tablet thing that would tell me about different planets, and then a different one about different dinosaurs and reptiles and all sorts of things. I think I grew up, I just had my first TV.
Yeah.
So, like, movie is hard.
Movie is hard.
Yeah,
okay.
book, I didn't read much.
Yeah.
So it was
Same.
It was just like in my mom's room, whatever I could watch there, I guess. But
I always wished that I would have, since I mean, I really liked animals when I was small, but because of my allergies, like, I was like, yo, I can't work with animals, so I just like dumped that. I wish I never dumped it. I wish I would have gone deeper and, got a little more nurtured on like, well, these are other kinds of animals that won't get you to sneeze. But I feel like that just wasn't around back then. You know, I wish I would have just like stuck with it and got a little bit obsessed with that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Shit. I would find some fucking pill to stop this sneezing, bro, because I can't stop. There's nothing to stop me, bro.
Dude, that's the thing. I take pills for the sneezing, and they hardly go away.
Yeah?
Yeah, your body gets used to it. Gets used to those pills.
Yeah, your body also gets used to the sneezing.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure Exotic went through that. I think it's her that went through it.
Okay.
Pretty sure that she had an allergy and she just fought it. She's like, all right, bet. I'm only sneezing. Pretty sure it was her. She was that a long time ago.
Listen, all right, so reptile show stuff. Did you find anything cool here that stuck out to you? Were you walking around?
This is a man with Dudley Cups across from us. I don't fuck with him. Actually, there's a guide on there with Hercules beetles.
Okay.
It was pretty cool. He has a whole bunch of crazy beetles. I really like that. That was pretty cool.
Yeah.
I also had an experience with him. I was standing there looking at the beetle, taking pictures, and this man got some girl's number, dude.
No way, dude.
Oh, this motherfucker. I was like, you motherfucker, you are a dirty bag, bro.
We got to introduce him to Eric, so that way Eric can get some fucking notes.
The way he did it was crazy. He was like, where you from? She's like, I'm from Tennessee. And he's like, oh, Tennessee. Are you from the city or are you like from the boonies? She said, oh, no, the boonies. Oh, yeah. She's like, oh, yeah, I study bugs. A girl that studies bugs in Tennessee, you know how many bugs are out there? There's cicadas. I'm about to go there soon. And she's like, oh, that would be so cool, blah, blah, blah. He was like, oh, we have to be friends now. We have to be friends. Yeah. Write your number. I was like, this
man. The audacity.
The audacity, bro.
This guy's crazy.
I know homo. That motherfucker's like a 3, bro. I'm like, how the fuck?
He figured it out.
I don't know how the hell he did it. I'm going to tell you right now, I don't know how. He was like your height. She was like Tyler's
I take offense
height.
to that. I take offense to that.
No, like this man, he got balls of steel, bro.
Yeah.
The Beatles aren't his balls right now, bro. Like, swear to God.
Yeah. So I know that you picked up another one of those. What the fuck are those lizards?
The forest dragon?
The forest dragons.
Yeah.
And that is such a unique thing. I know that Buddy OTW Exotics over there, he has a couple, and everybody's been stopping by to like see those animals. What is it about those animals that stuck out to you, and how do you go about, like, what strikes you about an animal that makes you interested in wanting to keep it and work with it? So
that when I went in that day when I first saw them, I had never seen them before. They had like these crazy horns in the back. The male looked like the body of a veiled chameleon, the head of like some type of iguanid. And, like, it just looked crazy. And then I was like, what is this? And they told me what it was, and I was like, where is it from? What do we know? Who's breeding them?
Yeah.
Nobody. And I was like, why the fuck not? Like, why? Like, what's up with this? I wanted to know what it was, why they're not, like, why I hadn't seen them. And then once I got to it, it's all because they all are dying.
Yeah.
Pretty much, they die very quickly. And I'm like, okay, why the fuck do they die very quickly? So I literally started researching it. I started seeing people in Europe were breeding them, and I was like, okay, what the fuck is going on over there?
Yeah.
Guess what it is? Exactly my mentality. What is the animal? Adapt to the animal. They figured out that keeping those animals in a enclosure with running water keeps them alive. And I'm like, motherfucker, I got that.
Yeah.
And I got that before I even researched it. Like, I had a feeling because they're built like basilisks.
Yep.
They've built like those iguanas or iguanids of South America, and that's what they need. They need running water. So what better running water than a water pump shooting up and back down at them? Pretty much all day fucking long.
Yep.
And that's what I did. And they started drinking, they started eating, and they look good. And I'm like, okay, that was simple. And I feed them earthworms, superworms, and crickets.
Yeah.
That was it. And then I figured it out by adapting to the animal. Now I'm about to finish the paludarium. God fucking damn it. Took me forever. And then I'm going to have live fish at the bottom and like tons of animals. And then the top is going to be for the dragons.
Yeah.
And
nice.
Just that. Just figuring out that just adapting to the animals what gets you to get the animal to live. You know how many animals come in and die because people try to keep them in a fucking rack?
Yeah, they try
The same thing.
They think that it's similar to this, so I'm just gonna keep it like
Yeah,
that.
no. Instead of like, what is the animal? What is the genus? Is there any other animal that is kept in that genus that is alive? If not, what is the animal? Does the animal have anything that is went through convergent evolution that looks like another animal, acts like another animal, even though
Yeah.
they're in two separate parts of the world?
Yeah, yeah.
That's
yeah,
what I
yeah.
did.
Yeah.
It looks like a basilisk. It's built like a basilisk. It lives in a whole other place in the world.
Yeah.
But they act very similar. That's convergent evolution.
Yeah.
They might have very similar niches, and I was fucking right.
Very cool. And that represents that represents an underrepresented animal in this hobby. Is there any other like underrepresented animals that you're like there needs to be a little bit more attention on this, and for what reason?
Oh, I think that's all personal.
Okay.
Unless if it was for conservation, it'd be very different.
Okay.
But yeah, I think.
But even the conservation thing is finicky because we know that a lot.
It doesn't.
Those animals don't go back.
It doesn't. Right now, bro. Let me just say, there's a program for conservation that got dropped,
Yeah.
and we got a whole bunch of animals from that
Yeah.
because they realized it just
It wasn't working.
doesn't really work.
No.
It doesn't really work. But I think certain animals, like for example, I always bring up the Orinoco crocodiles.
Yeah. Yeah.
Orinoco crocodiles. It's really hard in the U.S. for us to breed them for some reason.
Yeah.
The reasons are obvious. But where they are at, they breed them all the fucking time. Why do we need to breed them?
Yeah. Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
It's like, it's already hard. If we figure it out, it's great. We can have them here and send them back. But they're doing it over there. Why not adapt to what they're doing over there?
Yeah.
People don't do that. People just want them to adapt to whatever we put them in.
Yeah.
So I feel like things like caiman lizards, I've always been in love with those. You already know that.
Yeah.
For them, is always dehydration and worms, of course. And dehydration is big because looking back at when I kept mine, it was dehydrated all the time. And I'm like, what the fuck is going
You're
on?
literally swimming right now, bro.
Yeah, but that is not humidity.
Yeah.
That is not humidity.
Yeah.
So that animal needed it a lot more than what I gave it.
Yeah.
For sure.
I mean, I think I think more animals than people realize are specifically reptiles dehydrated because they think that just leaving a water bowl is enough.
Nope.
But what is it? You're not letting that animal know, hey, there is water available. Other than the water being there, like, are you misting? Because then it's like, okay,
Yeah.
it just rained, the water's fresh.
Yeah, and
stuff
even
like that.
misting, you can mist all you want.
Yeah.
But if the enclosure is cold,
Yeah.
there's no evaporation.
Yeah. And if it's completely enclosed, all that is just stagnant air,
Exactly.
which is fungal, which is all kind of
Exactly.
stuff.
So it's like, it's very hard for people to grasp their head around it because it sounds so
Yeah.
complicated.
Yeah.
Anywhere is the problem.
Yeah, but I feel like it should be a little complicated
Yeah,
because
that's the fun part.
Yeah, and it should feel like a success in the end of the day.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
honestly, I love it.
Yeah.
That's the fun part for me. It's everything's wrong. Every aspect of it. Too much of this, too little of this can affect it.
Yeah.
But that's how the aquarium group has grown. How that industry has grown
Yeah.
is because they looked at fucking water.
Yeah,
And they perfected water.
Yeah.
And they know that if they add this stone, the pH is going to change this much. And
Yeah.
they know all of these things. We haven't gotten to that point, and I think it's just gotten too simple.
Okay,
Too simple. Too simple's not fun. You're not
Okay.
learning. You're just keeping an animal in a box to keep it in a box.
gotcha.
I want to learn.
Yeah.
I want to learn. And honestly, like going out and seeing animals like in the wild has taught me a lot more than people have.
Hell yeah, dude. Now, do you have any tips for people coming to reptile shows? Anything from the top of your head other than come with cash because you'll get better deals?
Let's say know what you're looking for. Don't buy something just to buy it. Also, try to look for captive born shit. Sorry for those of you guys that got wild caught shit, but I think wild caught is a lot harder to keep if you're looking for a pet. If you're looking for a pet, a better pet would be something that is captive born that the breeder can tell you more about.
Yeah.
Things like that. If you're looking for an experiment or a project, then yes, wild caught might be the way,
Yeah.
but just know the consequences. And Also, like, I'm a hypocrite. Like, when I do that, I'm supporting the poaching of those animals.
Yeah, but if you're able to implement it correctly, you will alleviate the need to bring them out of the wild.
I don't believe that.
You don't?
No, I don't.
Okay.
I don't.
I think it's possible. I
don't think it's happened, other than when it becomes illegal to do so.
Got you. Okay. Do you want to leave the people with anything? Any kind of like wise words from Mad Bio Reptiles? Boo! No, just kidding.
No.
No?
You bitches, stop commenting bullshit.
I will say we have new merch. It's live. There are team shirts, so you can get like Team Tino, Team Chuckey.
Oh, yeah, I got one right here.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Team Yoshii. Obviously, you're going to buy the Team Yoshii one because I'm the best part of the podcast, right? Right, Chuck?
Yep.
Yeah, that's why. He literally got complimented today, and somebody told him that he was the best part of the podcast. So now I hate him.
Buy my ball pythons.
All right, this was the Reptiles with Podcast.